faction brewing with the Sukai dynasty, without adding this to it. The people of the Phoenix Empire wouldn't suffer an imposter. In the courtyard below, 2 guards patrolled. Neither looked to the roof. Even if they had, I'd only be a dark shape against a cloudy sky, the rain that drizzled into their eyes obscuring their vision. I crept down the other side, making my way to a window I knew was still open. The night was warm in spite of the clouds and the rain, and shutters were often left open unless we were in a true gale. Only a few lamps were lit when I slid from the edge of the tiles, my feet finding the sill. There was an odd comfort in creeping through the hallways of the palace again, my engraving tool and several keys hidden inside my sash pocket. It was familiar, something I knew. I couldn't help but peer around the corner to see the door of my room. Jovis was still there, Mephi next to him. He was showing the beast a deck of lacquered cards. Mephi reached out with a webbed claw and touched one. "This one." Jovis sighed. No. If you play a fish on a sea serpent, that means you lose that turn." Mephi tilted his head and sat back on his haunches. "Feed the fish to the sea serpent. Make the sea serpent your friend." "That's not how this works." "It worked on me." "Are you a sea serpent?" Mephi clacked his teeth. "Your game makes no sense." "You said you were bored and wanted to learn," Jovis said. He started to tuck the cards back into his pocket. Mephi's ears flattened against his skull. Wait. I pulled back, keeping an ear out for footsteps. Playing cards while guarding the Emperor's room wasn't very professional, despite Jovis's insistences that he needed to protect me. I supposed I'd done this to myself, hiring a former member of the Eye of Karn and a notorious smuggler as captain of the Imperial Guard. But he'd saved hordes of children from the tithing festival and earned a great deal of goodwill from the people. And goodwill was something I had in short supply. I made my way to the shard storeroom, ducking down side passages or behind pillars whenever I saw a guard or a servant. Swiftly, I unlocked the door and slipped inside. I moved through muscle memory, taking down the lamp by the lintel, lighting it, striding to the back of the room. There was another door there, carved with a cloud juniper. Another lock, another key. I descended into the darkness of the old mining tunnels below the palace, my lamp casting the sharp edges of the walls into stark relief. The constructs my father had placed to guard the way were dead, disassembled by my hand once I'd had the strength. The constructs still scattered across the empire were another matter. All were commanded to obey Xian, and now that he was gone, their command structure had fallen to pieces. Some had gone mad, others had gone into hiding. There were only 2 constructs I'd considered mine. Hao, a little spy construct I'd rewritten to obey me, and Bing Tai. Hao had died defending me from my father. Only Bing Tai remained. At the fork in the tunnels, I veered left, unlocking the door that blocked the way. I'd often wondered what my father was doing when he disappeared behind his locked doors. I still didn't exactly know. The tunnel opened up into a cavern, and I lit the lamps scattered throughout. A pool filled part of the cavern. A workstation was set up next to it. There were bookshelves, a metal table, baskets of tools I didn't recognize, and the chest that held my father's memory machine. It was where I'd found Thrana, submerged in the pool, connected to that machine. As I did every time I entered this cavern, I checked the water. My lamp reflected off the dark surface. I had to squint past that to see into the water below. The replica of my father still lay in the pool, his eyes closed. After the first flush of relief came that familiar pang. He looked so much like Bayan, or, I suppose, Bayan looked so much like him. But Bayan had died helping me to defeat my father, and when I'd finally taken the time to grieve, I'd realized there was no bringing him back. I was proof of that. While my father had grown this replica by submerging his own severed toe in the pool,